Hi, I'm Todd Henderson. Today we're going to install the Havoc HS3 Steps on this 2009 to 14 F-150 SuperCrew with the 5.5 foot bed. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, so we're starting on the driver's side of the truck. We're up to the very front. This is your e-brake cable. We're actually going to need to move that out of the way so we can get to the spot we're going to install. This is our front bracket location just behind the front tire. So you might have some tape over top of this if you do need to peel that away, but you're going to see two holes on on either side of a square hole or rectangular hole. What we're going to need to do is take one of our U-nuts and slide it through that rectangular hole over top of the rear hole, the one closest to the back. And now we're going to go ahead and move back to our next bracket location. All right, next we're going to come back to our second bracket location. Now this has probably got some tape over top of it too if you've never done any kind of an install before. But what we're looking for is a squared off hole here with a round hole above it. Now in the pinch weld, there's going to be two holes on either side. This is still right in line with, we're kind of back towards the front door now, or the back of the front door. And we need to go ahead and put this U-nut in to where the threads are back behind the rocker panel. So we're going to slide it in like so and let it clip into place. And now let's go back to our last location. All right, now we're going to go back to our last bracket location. You'll have another rectangular shaped hole with two round holes, one on either side. There's also a couple of round holes in the pinch weld below that. We're going to go to the rear round hole in the rocker panel, and we're going to install our U-nut in that place right there. Let it click in place, and now we can go ahead and line up the bar. Now to get the bracket in place, we're going to go ahead and move that e-brake cable again, raise it up, and make sure our slotted hole is lined up to our U-nut. And we're going to want to loosely thread a gold-colored bolt, lock washer, and flat washer into that location. And while we're holding it in place, we're also going to want to go ahead and grab one of our provided hex bolts. It's a black bolt with an Allen wrench head on it. And then we're also going to have a flat black washer that goes up through the bottom of the rocker panel, up, or bottom of the pinch weld, up into the bracket. And on top of that, we're going to place a gold washer and one of our nylock nuts. We're just going to get that on there finger tight for right now. Well, let's move back to our next bracket location. All right, so the next bracket back, we're going to do the same thing. We've got our gold colored bolt with a lock washer and flat washer. We're going to go and finger tight put it into that U-nut. And then from the bottom, again, we're going to take our black hex bolt with a flat washer, go up through the bottom of the pinch weld, and top that off with a gold flat washer and then a nylock nut. And again, just going finger tight. And we'll move back to our last location. Now our last bracket is pretty much the same thing. Gold bolt, lock washer, and flat washer going into the U-nut. Get them in there finger tight. And then from the bottom, again, we've got our black hex bolt with a black flat washer going up through the bottom of the pinch weld. Top that off with a gold flat washer and a nylock nut. Once we've got that in place, we can go ahead and take a 13 millimeter and tighten it down with a 13. All right, now for the bottom, we're going to go ahead and put a 5 millimeter Allen head into the bottom and then tighten down with a 13 millimeter on the top. Move up to our next bracket. For our center bracket, again, we're going to tighten that down with a 13 millimeter up top. And again, for the bottom, we've got a 5 millimeter hex and a 13mm up top. And again, we're going to move our e-brake cable out of the way so we can tighten up this 13mm up top. And our 5mm hex on the bottom with the 13mm up top. Tighten that down as well. Now, passenger side is going to be a little easier just because you won't have the e-brake cable in the way, but we'll repeat the exact same process as on the passenger side. Well, that concludes the installation. If you have any questions, call the experts. We're here to help you out.